over with you guys about deductive reasoning and what this means because it's very, very important. You know, there's different principles that having strong deductive reasoning skills helps with, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna just focus specifically on the NCLEX. And if you are struggling with SATA questions, you're struggling with just not doing well on your practice questions, not passing your test, then this may be a cause behind it. It may be the way that you look at questions, in addition, of course, to content comprehension, but it could also be the way that you interpret information. And so for most people that see these questions, this will be easy to go through. But for some people that see these questions, this will be challenging. And so you really want to be honest with yourself as you're going through the questions and pay close attention to what I'm saying and what I'm trying to help you to understand. Um, and so this is really important because I've had students that have struggled to pass their exam, been out of school for years, took the test multiple times. Um, some have the same background as far as like the same programs that they went through, like nursing programs, but overall, many of them that was in that boat, they had poor deductive reasoning. So it simply just comes down to how well can you break down simple statements into logical conclusions. So it says here deductive reasoning involves drawing a specific conclusion based on general premises that are generally assumed to be true. Below are 5 simple deductive reasoning questions. All right. So, like I said, your strength in this or lack thereof, it affects your ability. These are not medical or nursing questions. This is general ability to come to conclusions. So, your strength in this area, if you don't do well with these, then you're going to struggle to do well on the NCLEX or even taking like the TOEFL exam, like types of English type of exams or the IELTS exams, that's going to be a struggle as well. So let's go over it right now. So the first one, okay, says all birds have feathers. A penguin is a bird. Therefore, what would be the logical statement? All right, if you want to, you can comment below this video. Um, but it should be pretty straightforward, hopefully. Okay. So this one is going to be therefore penguins have feathers. Penguins have feathers. Okay. Next one. All mammals are warm-blooded. All mammals are warm-blooded. Dolphins are mammals. Therefore, okay. So what is that going to be? What's number 2? All right. So if you need to, like I said, you can stop the video if that helps. But you should be able to give me an immediate correct answer. All right. So the answer would be, therefore, dolphins are warm-blooded. All right. Therefore, dolphins are warm-blooded. Next one. All fruits contain seeds. An apple is a fruit. Therefore, what would be the conclusion statement? Okay. Therefore, apples contains seeds. Okay. The next one says, all squares are rectangles. A rectangle has 4 right angles. Therefore, what would be the next statement? And once again, you can stop the video if it helps. All right. Therefore, all squares have four right angles. Okay? All right, last one says all cars have wheels. All cars have wheels. A sedan is a type of car. Therefore, okay? Therefore, a sedan has wheels. All right? That's it. Okay, so if you got 5 out of 5, great, perfect. That means that you're not weak in deductive reasoning at all, and you just need to just probably just focus on content, a little bit of content in your weak areas, and then critical thinking skills in general, right? But if you went through these questions and you didn't get, so you got some of them wrong, or any of them wrong, you struggled to pick the statement, like it took you more than 10 seconds to pick the answer, then that means you have poor deductive reasoning skills. And until you improve your deductive reasoning skills, you're not going to see your practice exam scores go up. You're not going to see, you're going to still have a challenge when it comes to, doing questions or even passing the exam. So you have to improve these skills. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself taking the test repeatedly. And this is what I did with one of my students. Is like we once I realized this was her issue, then it was just a matter, honestly, of practice, and then breaking down how I got to that conclusion, over and over again. All right. So comment below. I would love to hear and know if you did well or if you did not do well, and then what you're going to do differently now to succeed, because you really have to master this if you want to pass your boards, which, whether it's even the TOEFL exam or other type of tests that eventually lead to the NCLEX, and then pass the NCLEX, pass your exam, get licensed, and be able to work, be able to work in your career that you worked hard for. You deserve to have those things, but it's going to require discipline and following through and not giving up on yourself. All right. So I hope you found this helpful. Comment below, share this video with somebody that you think would really benefit from this. Like, really share this with somebody. And then feel free, like I said, in the link below, I do have resources that will benefit you if you're ready to, really take action. One thing I could recommend is, if you want to pass your NCLEX, in this, I go over all this and more. If you failed most of these questions or any of these questions, the school of the NCLEX is what you need. But you have to be disciplined to finish the course. All right. But the course will help you to pass, especially with somebody that didn't do well with these type of questions. But if you're not ready for the school, then you can start off with just the body crash course, which goes over anatomy and physiology. But that's not going to focus on deductive reasoning. That's going to focus on the very basic to passing the NCLEX, which is understanding the human body. All right. So let me know, like I said, if you found it helpful. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys the next time.